Gold is rarely out of the financial conversation, but right now, many investors are wondering if it even belongs in their portfolio.
Well, here to deliver some expertise and break down the reality of it all is Stewart Willis, President and High Net Worth Advisor with Asset Preservation, Wealth and Tax. Good morning, Stewart. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
We're thrilled to have you here. I'm sure a lot of our viewers at home as well will be taking all of this in as well. So let's start with the big one, gold. Is it actually a good and sound investment right now?
Well, look, it's done incredibly well. It's outperformed the S&P 500 going on 3 years in a row now. So we're seeing tons of ads talking about the performance. The problem is that it's very expensive to buy physical gold, especially from the people you're seeing those ads popping up from. You're paying up to 20% in fees to get in and then to get out. That's where people miss out. They don't understand the math behind it.
Yeah, and that's a really big difference right there, right out of the gate.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you had to buy a stock and pay a 20% commission to get in, that would drastically change the math behind it. So, listen, gold makes sense, but in a completely different way. It should be part of a diversified portfolio, not just one big sale.
Okay. So what about holding gold inside an IRA?
Well, it's very similar. Buying physical gold can be that same expensive thing, but let's fast forward to when, you become 73 years old and now you're forced to take distributions. Gold doesn't produce a dividend. So now you have to sell gold to get your distributions out, and here come those fees again, 10%, 20% fees. I think it should be part of your portfolio, but maybe inside an ETF, not the physical gold itself.
Yeah, with what you're talking about, it seems to behave very differently to what many would consider out there traditional investments.
Well, of course, it's just not very liquid. And we've seen tons of our clients that have gold and silver bars in their house, and when they pass away or their spouse passes away, they don't know how to liquidate it. It becomes very expensive, time-consuming, and a problem for for getting access to your money.
It's often a fallback, and everyone always says people who aren't professionals, you got to have gold. You got to buy gold. You got to have gold as part of it. We hear like you said, we hear the commercials. We're bombarded with it all the time right now. So for someone watching at home who may be considering gold as part of their portfolio, what should they do and what should they know?
Well, what they should know is that it is a good part of your portfolio if it's diversified within your portfolio. But buying a ton of physical gold is a huge mistake. And if you want to find out if it's right for you or not, you should just get a second opinion from a fiduciary.
Okay.
Yeah, before we go, is there any last minute tips or advice? I think when it comes to investments, people can get very overwhelmed, whether it's, as you said, with gold or silver, or even the traditional way of investing. Is there anything you can give to viewers watching right now that can sort of calm down that feeling of overwhelming?
Well, people are feeling overwhelmed now, especially with everything going on internationally now. So, people are scared, people are running for safety, and gold feels like that natural place. I would just say, make sure you're dealing with a financial advisor that's a true fiduciary, somebody that you like, somebody you trust, someone you can communicate with and have these kind of conversations with. And if you don't have that, then it's time to find somebody.
Yeah, gold is kind of reflecting the market right now with the volatility. It's kind of an unpredictable market right now, like you mentioned, with world events, everything going on. Should people just take a pause, be patient, or should they be looking to pull out of certain areas, plug into someone else? What would you suggest?
It's time to take a breath, right? Listen, gold has done well, but people have that fear of missing out. They see everybody's making money in gold, or they made a ton last year, it's done well this year, but everyone wants to get into the party, and sometimes the party's already over, right? You just need to know where we stand, and if my crystal ball worked, I could tell you exactly when you should buy gold, when you should sell it. But like I said, it should be part of a total portfolio. It shouldn't be a massive concentration. That's a good way to buy high and sell low. Yes. The opposite of what we know we're supposed to do.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, sharing your insight with us this morning. To connect with Stewart or to learn more about asset preservation, wealth, and tax, head to apsitaxes.com.